Hey guys, John Litton here with Performance Unlimited, and today we're talking about shoulder pain. So when I see patients, clients all the time complaining of shoulder pain, one of the first things that I look at is the actual drape of their shoulders. What I mean by that is where their shoulder is sitting in its joint. And by drape, if you're looking at the side, what we call just a lateral or frontal view, we can see that the shoulder needs to be in line with the actual earlobe, okay? So some of us have issues with our head, our cervical, to where the earlobe's a little bit off. But if our shoulder is forward of that ear, we have what we call an anterior shoulder drape. It's just a forward drape that really causes a lot of issues. What does that do to us? Well, if you think about the shoulder being a golf tee, the golf ball is our actual bone of the arm, and the tee is the shoulder joint. So that joint is really unstable. If that bone is shifted forward into that joint and it starts to swing upwards, like doing some sort of overhead reach or backwards reach, we can really see it starts to jam forward into that joint, causing a lot of disruption, pain, and can really cause some issues beyond that. Namely going into an impingement and a frozen shoulder. So what's the first thing that I tell clients to be able to do daily that can really prevent, can recover, can restore health, can pull it back into a good position and ultimately stay away from those issues? Well, I'm going to show you a drill today that's going to talk about that chest being expanded, because the tightness of that chest is going to pull that arm bone forward. So when we're in this position, whether it was the start or if it's just a symptom, the chest becomes shortened. If the chest becomes shortened for a long period of time, the body is a great, beautiful, and very efficient machine, and then when it knows, it's going to grow. So meaning that if it knows shortness, if it knows tightness, if it knows that forward drape, it's going to grow that same drape. So it's going to keep that position and cut out any other position except for that, meaning that you're not going to be able to pull yourself back into position. Now, along with expanding or opening up space in the chest, we also want to do the opposite on the backside and strengthen some of that upper back, mid-back type with exercise from a strength conditioning coach. But today we're going to be talking about mobilizing, creating space, opening up that chest. So here's how we actually do it. So what I want you to do is to get down onto your stomach where you can put yourself into a position with one arm to the side. Let me actually scoot into a position where you can see. But if this is 90 degrees, I want to go just above 90 degrees as my bread and butter position. You can work at whatever angle you want to, but bread and butter position is just a few degrees above 90, maybe 5 to 10 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to keep my knees together, heels together at 90 degrees as well. What I'm going to do first is initiate the stretch from the arm. So remember, fascial lines, those lines actually connect to a lot of muscles all the way up through the chest. So even though I want to stretch the chest, I also want to start anchoring at the palm, because that's where that line begins. So I'm going to open up my hand by spreading my fingers and flexing my wrist. And then, here's the kicker, and really where the money's made. I want to press that hand away to engage in that decompression of the elbow and the shoulder. You should already feel that stretch. So from this position here, I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to rotate my entire arm so that my pinky's to the ground. My right hand is in push-up position. So I'm going to turn and drop the body into that position where I have that stretch. Now actually let me give you another angle here. So we'll go the opposite way. So my right arm is in position to stretch. I'm going just a few good degrees above 90. My knees are bent and together, my heels are together. My left hand is in a push-up position. I'm going to turn my head towards my push-up hand, towards my left hand. I'm going to drop my legs towards my stretch hand. Now remember to initiate the stretch by flexing the wrist, opening up the fingertips, and pressing that stretch hand away from you. You will feel an engagement all the way from your palms into your elbows, into your shoulder, while I turn my head away. If you have neck issues, you can rest your head onto the ground, but if you can, it's much more effective to keep your head off, tuck your chin, and reach that head away to open up that lateral arm line all the way to the palm there. So, again, we want to stretch that pec and that chest to be able to pull and allow the space to pull that shoulder back and free up a lot of the issues, the compensations that are going on. That's keeping that shoulder forward and jamming up against that shoulder joint as we're trying to reach into position. Now, accompany that with actually some strengthening in that backside, and you've got yourself a rehab for the shoulder.